Hola, buenos días todos. Bienvenidos a Academia Saltley Año 7. Me llamo Señora Wilson. Hi, Year 7. You will have already met me. My name is Mrs. Wilson. I'm Deputy Head at Saltley, but I'm also your Spanish teacher. So today we're going to learn about a bit about Spain and Spanish and Spanish-speaking countries, and we're going to get you to start thinking why it's important to learn a language. And as we go along, hopefully you'll be learning a bit of Spanish vocabulary in today's lesson. Ahora, para esta clase necesitas papel y un bolígrafo. For this class, you're going to need some paper and a pen. So can you make sure you've got that in front of you now? Escribimos siempre la fecha y el título en todas las clases. So in every class, we will write the date and title in Spanish. So as you can see on the board here, we've got the dates for the lessons that you might be learning now. So here we've got Viernes, el 4 de septiembre. If it is Friday, that's the date that you need to write. So we're already starting to learn the days of the week there, folks, as you can see. So we've got Viernes, Friday, Lunes, Monday, Martes, Tuesday, Miércoles, Wednesday, and Jueves, Thursday. So just pause this and give you a chance to write down that date on your sheet of paper. Terminado? Finished? Okay, vamos a escribir el título. So today's title is simply the word España, España, and you can see that on the board here, and that means Spain. So we're going to learn a bit about Spain and Spanish-speaking countries today. We're going to keep our title nice and short. You might notice as you're writing that there's a little squiggle on top of the N. That is a type of accent that we're going to come across when we're learning Spanish. And you'll notice that the pronunciation of that word isn't España, it's España. So that accent, that squiggle on top of the N, the accent on the N, changes the pronunciation of that letter N, N, to Ñ. So it becomes España. And you'll notice that in words as we go through. In fact, if you can remember already seeing one of those, put your hand up and tell your teacher now. Okay, that's right. In the first slide, we had año 7, year 7, año 7, and then that's right, there's an accent on that N in the word año, which means year. Excelente. Okay. So, a quick starter then. What do these people have in common? See if you can work out who they are and what they have in common. Did you get it right? Yes, they are all Spanish speakers. That is correct. So we have the football players. We've got Rafael Nadal. We've got Dora the Explorer. We've got Penelope Cruz, and we've got who is an actress, and we've got Shakira the singer. So, and we know that they all speak Spanish. Or come from Spanish-speaking countries, so not necessarily Spain. Well done if you got those. So now we're going to spend a few minutes thinking about these statements on the board. I'll read through them. I'm going to give you a few minutes on your own to write down on your sheet of paper 1 to 6 and decide if each of those statements is true or false. And in Spanish, that would be verdadero or falso. So, Barcelona is the capital of Spain. If you think that's true, write true. If you think it's false, write false. Number 2, the Spanish flag is yellow and green. If you think that's true, write true. And if you think that's false, write false. Number 3, rugby is the main sport of Spain. Number 4, Spain has a royal family. Number 5, Spain is famous for paella, bullfighting, flamenco dancing, and warm summers. Number 6, Spain celebrates many festivals known as fiestas throughout the year. Okay, so hopefully you have finished now and you're ready to go through the answers. So, las respuestas. Barcelona is the capital of Spain. Is that true or false? It's false. Hopefully you will have written down false and you have written that the correct answer is indeed Madrid. So Madrid is the capital of Spain, not Barcelona. Number 2, the Spanish flag is yellow and green. Again, that one is false. So well done if you got that correct. We know, as we saw in the previous slide, the Spanish flag is yellow and red, not green. Good. Number 3, rugby is the main sport of Spain. Main sport? No, you're right if you got that false. It's probably, yes, you guessed it, football. 4, Spain has a royal family. Does Spain have a royal family? That one would be true. Yes, Spain has a royal family. Number 5, Spain is famous for paella, bullfighting, flamenco dancing, and lovely warm summers. And I think you'll agree with me that that is correct. And number 6, Spain celebrates many festivals known as fiestas throughout the year. And that one is also correct. Do you know of any fiestas? Well, Spain, in all the individual towns and cities in Spain, there are always fiestas happening. And I suppose we would use the English word festivals. So that would be anything from the bull running festival to carnivals to all the religious festivals as well. And obviously that one there is, that first one would be fireworks, probably at New Year. And La Tomatina Festival is a tomato throwing festival. Lots of Spain is renowned for its parties and celebrations. Good. Okay, another question. ¿Verdadero o falso? See if you can do this one in Spanish. ¿Verdadero o falso? Spanish is only spoken in Spain. And you are absolutely right. And it's crucial to know that Spain is not only spoken in Spain. So that question is falso. Well done if you got that. Spanish is spoken in 21 different countries. And you can see where they are now. So here we've got Spain up here in Europe. And then down here we've got Central and South America. So in South America, we've got Mexico, Argentina, Chile, Cuba. The main country, the largest country in South America actually is Brazil. And that one, in Brazil, they do not speak Spanish, they speak Portuguese. But in many of the other countries, Peru, Colombia, they speak Spanish. In Central America, we've got Honduras, excuse me, Costa Rica, and lots of those countries in Central America that also speak Spanish. So when we're talking about Spanish speakers in the world, there are lots and lots of places where Spanish is an official language. So 21 countries, there we go. and it's spoken by 280 million people. It's a Latin language, so you'll find that you recognise lots of words that might be similar to English, and we call those cognates, and we'll be learning and pointing those out right from the start as we go through our learning. So over to you now. We're starting to think about why it is important to learn a language. So what do you think is meant by each of the following quotes? So let's take a moment to look at these quotes, and then we'll give you 5 minutes or so just to write down on your sheet of paper what you think they mean. So we've got, to learn a language is to have one more window from which to look at the world. And we've got, with languages, you are at home anywhere. So just spend a few moments on your own reflecting on what those quotes mean to you, and then see if you can put that into 1 or 2 sentences on your sheet. When you're done, I'll let your teacher take some feedback from you, and you can have a class discussion about those. Okay, so the next thing I want us to think about is whether we think it's important and why we think it's important that people learn languages. So hopefully your answer to the previous slide will help you answer this. So if you think it's important, why do you think it's important that people learn languages? And then when you've done that question, what do you think are the benefits of learning a language? So what do you think are the benefits? So what do you gain from learning a language? Have a go at thinking about that on your own and write a sentence. And then we're going to have a look at what might the opportunities be for learning a language. So at the moment, think about what are the benefits and why is it important? Okay, so hopefully now you've had that discussion with your class teacher on why it's important to learn languages and what you think the benefits are. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to create a mind map where you show the opportunities that languages could bring. So let's look at this. This gives us some ideas. So looking at those words on the board there. So why might we learn a language? Well, we might be able to understand. We might be able to, if we learn about someone else's culture, we're going to be able to empathise. What opportunities does that give us in terms of employment, in terms of experience, in terms of our lives and how rich they are and what we know about different places and different cultures? Does that give us opportunities to travel, for example? Have a think about that as you look at those words on the board and maybe have some discussion. Remember that our planet has over 6 billion people who speak between 6,000 and 7,000 different languages, and it's certainly not true to say that everyone speaks English. We live in a very multicultural, multilingual world. So think about that when you're thinking about your opportunities. A language will always be useful. So think about the language learning skills that you will develop as we go through the next few years, and how they can be transferable and applied to other areas of your life as we go through your time at Saltley and in the future for when you leave and you start your career. Birmingham is a very multicultural city, isn't it? People speak lots of different languages. So think about how that creates an opportunity. Okay, I think you're ready to spend 5 minutes or so on your mind map on your sheet of paper, listing the opportunities that learning languages creates. Okay, hopefully you've done your mind map and you've shared it with the class. Finally, we're going to take a moment to reflect. So it's time to think, well, it's time to tell us what language or languages you've studied in primary school. What did you enjoy about it? Was it Spanish or was it a different language? And did you have an opportunity to learn more than one language? So I will leave you to have that discussion as a class. And finally, this is the Great Spanish Language Challenge. I want you to have a look at these different activities on the board and see if you can do one of those or more than one of those in the next couple of weeks, because when we do finally see each other and have our lessons, I want to hear about these challenges that you have undertaken and how you've got on with them. So spend a minute or so having a look at those challenges and see which ones might be applicable to you. So hopefully in today's lesson, we've had a look at why learning a language is important. We've learned a few facts about Spain and Spanish-speaking countries. We have learned a few words. We've looked at the date and the title. We've learned a little bit about accents in Spanish to begin with. Next lesson, we'll be learning some more vocabulary. So I will see you then. Adios.